What's up, YouTube? Capital G here, DN Duel Commentary. We have Chowder Young, 1445, who is playing he's playing Nekroz against Cutter, who was formerly the #1 player on Duel Network. Looks like he's playing his, he's definitely playing his Yosenjus. I would guess anyway. I mean, I guess it might not be Yosenjus. Looks like he has Dimensional Prison out. And it must be putting in work because I see a Shuriken banished and a couple of cards banished. He attacked the face down monster. I'm not sure if maybe that was Book of Moon or Book of Eclipse or something. I'm just going to guess he's going to have to use Nekroz of Ganir's effect. Otherwise, I mean, do you want your Ganir getting banished? Your Manju? The Manju really you don't care about, but like, I don't want my Nekroz getting banished. Not because, well, not only because I want to be able to use Valk later in the game and I want to have a graveyard, but I want to be able to get these things out of the graveyard too with Unicorn, and, you know, Nekroz of Ganir is like a limited card, so. Alright, so he's gonna pitch his Kaleido Mirror to get rid of the Dimensional Prison. That was expected. Now, I don't know why he banished, because the Nekroz of Ganir would resolve before the Mirror Force, so Dimensional Prison, or Dimensional Fissure is no longer on the field. Looks like he got it right. Okay. Now, let's see what's gonna happen. Now, I wonder what the face down is. I mean, it legitimately could be Fossil Dyna. It could he could win off of Fossil Dyna, but that also means that, Chowder Young would probably have to not summon anything else. You know, he could obviously summon like Ganir back or something. Using maybe the Nekroz of, the Nekroz cycle, something like that. But if he already has a Shuriken banish, only 3 cards in hand, it's really probability of him summoning Shuriken or summoning Ganir back is probably not that high. I would probably take this time to add a bunch of free spells because we know that Cutter runs Necro Valley, and 2 of them. You don't want your spells getting trapped in the graveyard. That's not good for anybody. You know, and then your Ganir would be trapped in the graveyard too. You wouldn't be able to Unicorn out. That would just be terrible for you. He's in main phase 2. He has some thinking about to do. Let's see what he's gonna do. Looks like Cutter may have lost a couple of games. He was in the 1700s. Alright, so he's gonna start adding those spells. Goodbye Valk. Goodbye Nekroz Mirror. To get Nekroz Cycle. And I wonder if he'll banish the Kaleidoscope to get another Mirror, maybe. All of these will be completely irrelevant if that's a Fossil Dyna, though. Oh no, he's gonna use Unicorn to get back Baryonyx. Okay. And then he's gonna activate Baryonyx. And get what? To get a Shuriken. Okay. Could be setting up for a big Trishula play. I don't know if Trish is in his graveyard or not. Giving up Shuriken. He already had Trish in his hand. He's not planning on summoning it from the graveyard. Alright. Now, I don't think Cutter plays Mirror Force, so. Let's see what that face down was. If it was Fossil Dyna. It was Thunder King Raya. Okay. And goodbye, comma 1. Lost Dimensional Fissure as well, adding another copy of Nekroz of Baryonyx. Okay, so both players control 3 cards now. Activates Regeki. Needs a follow-up play though. Oh, there's the follow-up, the Fossil Dyna. The question is, can he protect it? Alright, so he put it out there naked. If he top decks a Manju, oh, he's setting a monster. No, that is not the way to get around Fossil Dyna. And he has the comma 1. Question is that a Shuriken? Is that a Jin? Is that a legitimate way of defend? Oh, it's not going to defend you much longer. 2000 attacker. Oh, it's a Maxi. Why is Maxi in against Yosenju? It must be game 1. And now big damage to Chowder. Alright. You got pretty much last chance, Chowder. You better hit that Manju Sanju. Or Senju. I know I keep saying Sanju, but whatever. Or I guess he could have a Book of Eclipse. That would legitimately work too. It would, I mean, it wouldn't win you the game, but it would buy you a turn. Dark Hole, legitimate option. He's going to add a Kaleido Mirror, I guess, but I'm not really sure what that does here. Nope, he's going to add another copy of Nekroz Cycle. Sure. I don't know if that means that he has a way of getting rid of the Fossil Dyna, but alright, so he's going to add yet another Nekroz card. I guess this one will be Nekroz Mirror. Okay, so there's the Nekroz Mirror. 2 of his hand is completely irrelevant. They're mirrors that he can't use. It's going to activate. All right, so I assume he's going to search for Val. Give himself some more time. All right, so he is going to get Valkyrus. Now, the thing is, he's kind of eliminating his graveyard. So that Valkyrus, I don't know how many times that thing is going to work. He keeps on banishing his Nekroz cards. Would you have really searched the spells? Like, I think I would have wanted Valk to work as many times as possible. Now, unless Cutter has changed his deck to running DD Designator, I don't really think that he'll have much to worry about. Unless he has Necro Valley. If he has Necro Valley, then just, too much dank. You're just getting Shrek'd at that point. Alright, there's the Valk. We knew he was going to burn that. Will he leave the Fossil Dyna in attack mode? That's the question. I think maybe you put it in defense mode. Looks like Cutter agrees. Okay, must have a handful of Yosenjus maybe. Activates Upstart Goblin. Cutter's already got a plethora of life points and sets another card that's just not going to get it done. We already know that he's got monsters. And him having the Sugent, oh, okay, so he uses Effect Veiler. He'll probably attack. And it's another Maxi. These hand traps are terrible against Yosenju. He still gets to live, though. His Yosenju will not bounce to the hand because Effect Veiler now lasts until the end of the turn. Shoutouts for a Radish. Shoutouts to making Yamato just terrible, right? I remember when people used to Effect Veiler my Yamato, I used to be like, thanks. At least his hand traps are blocking attacks, and yeah, if you're running a full gauntlet of hand traps, it's just not gonna get it done against Yosenju. Yosenju just don't care about hand traps. Even if you Effect Veiler them, if you're not running mash removal, what are you really doing? All you're doing is stopping them from, I guess at that point you're just stopping the flood from coming in. So I guess Effect Veiler might be even considered like a one-turn floodgate against Yosenju, because we clearly saw that he could have summoned multiple Yosenju. So Shouter gets kind of wrecked. Let's turn this off. There we go. It's interesting to see the Fossil Dyna just get it in. You didn't have the Manju Sanju, you didn't have the Dance Princess, which I would guess maybe he's not running, because here's the thing, he did activate Brio, so maybe could have gotten a Dance Princess or something like that. Letting Cutter go first. We do know Cutter runs a ton of cards that can wreck Nekroz. But there could be a Denko there, and Denko is a real card. If he has Denko, he's obviously in good shape, because, either... Oh no! Just setting back row. Okay. And you know what? Here's the thing about Yosenju. I've never thought Royal Decree doesn't hurt them as much as it hurts other decks, because they can bounce it to your hand. And they can also just say, alright, we'll just go YOLO on you. And it looks like he's trying to go YOLO. Now if Shouter, oh my goodness, I thought he was going 2 deep, he's going 3 deep. Maybe he sided in Mirror Force, but if you have Royal Decrees right now, what is that doing? That is doing nothing. Good lord. Taking all that damage. And what's really good about this is, if Cutter just searches, he doesn't have to worry about Trishula. He has no graveyard. So a Royal Decree will do something, but not a ton. Alright, so he's getting a combo 1. That seems like the best play here, because if his opponent puts a big monster, such as a Valkyrus, on board, he can literally just bounce it and keep it rolling. Having no graveyard, Valkyrus in hand, obviously not good. Going for Lightning Chidori. Must want to try and snipe some cards out, maybe. Maybe get rid of some mirrors. Using Effect Veiler. Man, he must really didn't want to see that. Okay, he must... Alright, so he flips over Royal Decree. I don't think that that's very good right now. You only have 3 cards to work with. What are you doing with Royal Decree? He has less cards committed in the back row than you do. Alright, he's got a Manju. He better hope that rides. It is going to resolve. Okay, I thought he needed a follow-up play of a unicorn maybe. I wouldn't even be surprised if there was another Royal Decree down there. Oh, he set his mirrors. Okay. He must have really wanted to get those things off if he was willing to bluff. Alright. I almost feel like he needs to be able to drop Trishula here. I don't think that the Nekroz Unicorn, I don't think any of this matters except Trishula. If he can't Trishula him, none of this matters, because he will literally just bounce his monsters and he'll proceed to go YOLO again with his Yosenjus. That's what I think he'll do. And Shouter doesn't have the life points to where he can afford to let his opponent go YOLO. He only has 2,700. So he takes Valkyrus, I guess. I mean, maybe he'll summon it. Okay, I guess he's going to try and summon it. Okay, where did that come from? All right, I'm like, where are these cards coming from? I'm like, where's the Sharit coming from? Where is this Nekroz cycle coming from? Like, I don't really see. All right, so he's going to cycles for the what's it called? He's going to cycles for the oh my goodness, forgot its name, Valkyrus. Then he's going to take Brio, so he's going to be able to get to whatever he wants. All right, going into attack mode, so he could Trishula him in main phase 2 now that he has a graveyard. Okay, and going into battle phase, a lot of damage there. He'll probably launch some of those cards to draw more. I would probably Exceed first, right? Wouldn't you want to clear your board so that you could get your spells back? Or would you rather just sit on Valk? Maybe. Okay, so he is going to Exceed. I don't know if he has enough for that Gusto Emerald. Okay, he's going into Lavable Chain. I guess to put a Effect Veiler on top of his deck so that he can draw it using Valkyrus' effect. Okay, fair enough. So he's going to activate Valkyrus, giving himself an Effect Veiler. Drawing 2. Guaranteed the Effect Veiler. It's not bad, not bad. The Roll Decree is actually putting in work now. Now he's going to start adding some spells. And then using Brio. So he'll be able to get to whatever. Alright, now I think it's going to be time where you drop a Trishula. Okay. Alright, so I don't really think that there's anything he can do against this Trishula. Not through a Roll Decree anyway. Unless he happens to have Effect Veiler of his own. Is he going to... He's going to banish 2 more cards. Let's see what he's going to get now. Get another Nekroz Mirror. Okay. And there's Nekroz Mirror. Sharit will be banished. Or I guess he could go Colossalus and Brio. Sure. I think it would have been more like economical to banish Sharit, but that's just me. It's gonna banish a face down card. Probably can't use Mirror Force. Gets rid of Sujin and Kama 3. And then he passes turn. Harageki would be hilarious here. Harageki Fossil Dyna. Oh my god. Well, he has half of that. If he has Fossil Dyna, we're just done. Okay, so it's going to summon Kama 1. It's going to attack. Passes turn. But the problem is, his opponent still has a lot of resources. Okay, he's going to activate another Nekroz Mirror. There's the Sharit. I guess he felt like he needed to be able to summon like Decisive Armor or Valk or something later. Just attacks. Okay. He's almost dead unless he has Decisive Armor. Sets another card in his back row. I don't know how live that is. I don't know if he has any more removal. Alright, so Cutter is setting a card. It's a good chance that... Oh, Regeki. Alright, we're going to game 3. Roll Decree actually did work out. Eventually. Obviously took out the Max Seeds. Veiler's a good card against Yosenju. Don't get me wrong, because it does stop them from YOLOing you, but Maxi, like, not so much. His whole deck is just predicated on normal summons. Now, I wonder if he didn't go into that Lightning Chidori, if he would have used the Effect Veiler the next time that Cutter tried to summon. But I don't really think that there was much he can do against that Effect Veiler, honestly. Cutter's going second. Why would you not go second against Yosenju? Or with Yosenju, I mean, Nekroz can't do anything turn 1 that really, like, matters. Okay, strong opening. The question is, what will you do here? I think the best play that Chowder can do would probably involve maybe stacking. I think if he goes for the same type of play that he did in last game, where you stack, you have to be able to stack that Veiler in your hand. You know, if maybe you Lavalvo it to the top and you summon Valk and you activate Valk's effect, just to make sure that the Yosenju player can't go completely in on you turn 1. And also it makes sure that if they have a Kama 3, it's just not live. Things like the Genlock aren't good against Yosenju. Summons Brio. Okay. I'm going to assume his hand's not that great then, mainly because Brio just doesn't do anything against the deck. It's not a good summon. Alright, so he adds Trishula to his hand. Maybe looking for a follow-up or just making sure that his Manju can't get targeted. Ooh, Chaos Trap Hole looks good. I love Chaos Trap Hole as a card. Unless you just don't have other adequate defensive cards. Oh, taking the Fossil Dyna. Fossil Dyna could be legitimate if he has a Mirror Force to back it up. Fossil Dyna Mirror Force. Not really sure how you stop that shit. Unless you have Gunir. But maybe he won't use it. Maybe he'll commit to something else. Shuffling his hand up. I don't know. I like the Chaos Trap Hole because I feel like it's a good play. Nekroz are probably going to summon a light monster. Alright. Looks like he's going deep. Does he have the Comma 3 maybe? Alright, so he's going to use it on Comma 2. Or excuse me, Comma 1. Brio is obviously in danger. Oh no, no Valks. He better have Decisive Armor. Oh, he doesn't. He does not have Decisive Armor. His spell is also trapped in the graveyard. He's trapped in the graveyard like R. Kelly's trapped in the closet. Let's see. Now, he took the Fossil Dynaman. I think with a Necro Valley, I would have liked to see him take Chaos Trap Hole because it really eliminates the chance of him top decking another Manju Sanju. Oh, Lord, he does not have another good card. He may have wanted to take that because maybe he feared a roll to Kree. Let's see what he's going to do. He could summon Trishula. I mean, he has a graveyard now, so that's a thing. But he can't use, Necro's Mirror. Not unless he has shit in his hand, because he just can't banish. I guess he took Fossil Dyna seems good. It just seems kind of slow in that situation. The Chaos Trap Hole, you know. So he's going to MST the back row. It's a Mirror Force. Oh, see, you could have had that. Could have potentially had a great answer to the follow-up play. All right, so he'll be able to search. Now, clearly, he could Castel this. That's obvious. That's an obvious play. The Fossil Dyna, it just looks like it looks good in theory. I'm just not sure when Cutter's ever gonna want to summon it. You know what I mean? Like, maybe, honestly, I think I would have just summoned it last turn. Just got it on board, you know, not cared about the Brio, just set my Mirror Force and, I don't know, let you attack into it or something. My follow-up play would have been with the Yosenjus. Because if you don't attack Fossil Dyna, then what are you doing? I guess you could put Brio in defense, but then at that point, Brio would just get ran over by, wouldn't Brio just get ran over by my dude? Now, if he does spin this, he can't Trishula him, so he'll have no field. He says, give me 2 minutes. Oh my god, Nekroz players be playing like Nekroz players, right? I mean, just seriously. Everything takes either 2 minutes or 30 minutes to make the most basic of plays. So here are the options. He could Castel, get rid of Necro Valley. Actually, Diamond Direwolf might actually be better because then he wouldn't control a monster, so he could get his spell. He could get his spells from his deck. He could... I'm trying to think how he could do damage here, though. Well, yeah, Castel would give him damage on board, but, I mean, I don't know if it would be good damage. So I don't think Chowder knows what exactly he wants to do. Keep in mind he has Trishula in his hands. One of those face downs is probably a bluff. But I still definitely would have taken K. Anytime I can get Chaos Trap Hole against Nekroz, I mean, if you're telling me you're just not going to summon Denko or Senju or Manju, then that's fine. I don't feel like you're going to beat me anyway. You know, maybe if you roll the Creamy turn 3 or something, but at that point, I'll try and use all my traps to either just wreck your shit or I'll try and just expend everything by that point. Try and simplify the game so much to where you really can't do anything. I guess he was banking on that Mirror Force. And the MST just shut that down. He felt like, alright, well, I can kill the Necro Valley using my 2/4s. It's gonna be crazy though. If he kills Necro Valley, he can't Trishula him. So he's taking Kaleidoscope. One of his sets must be I don't know, a Rhoda or something like that. Alright, so he's going for Castel. Necro Valley's gone, but he does have a monster on board. So he won't be able to get his spells out. Oh, wow. He set Preparation of Rites. This Nekroz player just setting all his good cards. Oh my goodness. That what's it called was so good against him. He didn't even know. That Necro Valley was insanely good. He wouldn't have been able to get Cycle out. Yeah, man, I really think Cutter should have just summoned Fossil Dyna in turn 1. He'd be so good right now. I mean, I guess you can say maybe he would have Mirror Force maybe he would have MST'd the Mirror Force, but what if he didn't? If he didn't MST the Mirror Force, he'd be so good. He actually could get OTK'd now. Yeah, there's a strong chance he could end up getting OTK'd. As he'll now be able to just search for days. Not to mention, this face down is probably like some bluff like Rhoda or some shit like that. Usually when Nekroz players set things, just ignore them. Just act like they're not even there. Alright, so he gets himself another copy of Unicorn. He'll pitch it for Sharit so that he can summon something. I feel like he's going to flip over Nekroz Mirror or something. The set card. Alright, Nekroz Cycle. That's Sharit. And to summon another copy of Unicorn. Well, if he's summoned Trishula, it's definitely game. Okay. That's going to add Brio. That's going to add Valkyris. I guess he just doesn't want him to be able to summon? Maybe? Okay. That's a good setup, though. Oh, and it is Nekroz Mirror. That's definitely game. Yep, that's definitely game. Even if it isn't game, he does have Valkyris' effect. That's probably over 9,000. No DBZ puns needed. And yeah, I think that, well, Cutter definitely could have used Mistake, but I think the best play there would have been taking the Chaos Trap Hole over the Fossil Dyna. Because unless your opponent would have blind MST, this whole play was set up by that second Manju. It really was. The Castell getting rid of the Necro Valley, him being able to get another search. If he takes the Chaos Trap Hole and he ends up MSTing the Mirror Force, the whole duel is changed. Either that or he'd still have Mirror Force set. Well, then I guess he could get Trishula at that point. But that's not the point. The point is he would have been able to potentially use Chaos Trap Hole, stop the Manju play, and then just, all your monsters in hand would have been good. Because when he took that Fossil down, I was like, I don't think he's ever going to summon it. Like, as soon as he got MSC'd, I was like, that Fossil down is just going to sit in his hand. He's never going to do anything with it. So, thank you guys for watching as always.